What happened this time when these people started putting these dispersants on it, and they caused it to, they were just disguising it, just hiding it, okay? These things sunk to the bottom, and when they sunk to the bottom, they just screwed things up tremendously.
They screwed it up really bad. You couldn't have come up with a worse scenario for destruction down here. So to tell me that BP is going to make it good and all this is all BS, because you can pay us for our loss in business, but it will never be the same.
Ready?
Yep.
I've been missing you. All the things we used to do, oh my buddy. Your buddy's missing you. Laughing and playing all day long. But now I don't, because you're gone, oh my buddy. Your buddy's missing you. On the first day I met you, that day I made you blue. Must have known how you would break my heart, and I'd be missing you. I've been hoping for so long that I'd wake up and this nightmare would be gone, oh my buddy. Your buddy's missing you. On the first day that I met you, that day I made you blue. Must have known how you would break my heart, and I'd be missing you. For 10 years now, you're my best friend. But the last year I've been missing, oh my buddy.
If the British had gone into France, destroyed their coastline due to some negligence on their own part, poisoned their people, utilized their people to clean up the mess that they created, the people got sick, and they didn't pay the people for doing the work that they're doing and using their equipment, they'd have gone to war. And what have we done? Not a goddamn thing. We haven't done a damn thing to BP for what they've done. And it's ludicrous. I mean, it's unbelievable that we should be such a backwater country as we are, but we are one backwater country.
I'll cut you, Jacob.
Here we are coming up on BP headquarters. The security guard already saw me, walked in backwards.
Yes.
How you doing, sir? Is there someone I can speak to? I'm sorry?
What regarding?
Well, I have some tar logs here that I brought from Mississippi, and I want to have, you guys have been posting online some information about these tar logs, and I just wanted to bring one of them into you guys so you can have some. What's the word today?
Just have to go through the process or whatever. You want to speak to someone?
Yes, I'd like to speak to somebody. Like I said, I brought these tar logs all the way from Mississippi. It was a long haul, and I think, you know, I'm gonna keep coming back. Like, I don't want to be arrested, but you know, that's gonna be the obviously the next step if someone doesn't talk to me. You know, I think rather than, I'm gonna be going out in front of the opening ceremonies tonight, and I'm gonna be setting up a little spot and showing people the tar logs and letting them know, you know, what's happening still in the Gulf of Mexico. Like these sir here.
Obviously at our level, we
Of
won't
course
comment
not.
on anything.
Of course
anyway.
not. I'm just saying. But
It's
I brought
not
these a
our
long
fault.
way. Little children are on this beach every day, swimming in this water and these tar logs, big slabs of this oil that you can probably smell from where you are. It's toxic, and it washes ashore with the marine life that also washes ashore next to these kids. And I just want to drop these off. I think that, you know, rather than have this escalate into something where police will be involved.
It's not going to escalate then anyway.
So-
We'll contact whoever.
So yeah, if you just want to tell, if you wanted to, I'm sure you have somebody who's in media.
Yeah, we'll sort something. If you
And
want
I'll
this-
wait right here,
Yeah,
yes.
if you want to just hang
No
slack,
problem.
we'll
Thank you,
sort
sir.
Roger that. Yeah, they've passed it on, so hopefully someone will get down shortly.
Okay. Here we are in front of BP headquarters with the tar logs. They've broken into smaller pieces in my travels, but they made it. Just waiting on word to see if anybody's going to speak to me here. Gotta show your papers. I'm sorry?
Not radioactive.
Active.
Yeah, that's the word. Is that yours? Part of your stuff?
Yeah, it was part of my rubber glove. You don't want to touch those.
Well, no, I mean, obviously it's creating a mess, basically, around the entrance.
Creating a mess in the entrance.
Right?
You're worried I'm creating a mess in the entrance of your building at BP. Do you realize that these are all along the seashore in the Gulf of Mexico? This is the mess that you guys left.
Oh, holy cow, this shit is all brand new.
Wow.
That's oil logs? Yeah. Wow, good stuff there.
Wow, that's just pure oil.
Yep. goodness. Wow, someone stepped on that?
Yeah, something other. I mean, it might have
That's a
just
shoe print there, looks like.
Yeah.
Can you just explain what this is?
As far as I know, it's been like a pattern of oil that I assume is on the bottom, and it started flipping and rolling and making itself into a log.
Wow.
I would imagine there's big sheens of oil all along out there in the water, and as something the surf starts to move the hinge of it and starts rolling and turns into a flat. Next thing you know, it forms a big log.
What is the...
This is the size of 11 foot, and you can see that that's as big as my
Hurricane
foot.
Central down here where we're located. That rig sank in about, I believe it was about 3,000 feet of water. 80 miles away. Now, if you think about this, you're moving 80 miles to the north from 3,000 feet up to about 35 foot of water. It's a huge hole, a huge canyon. They call it the Mississippi Canyon. You've got 200,000 barrels of oil that came out of that rig, that came out of that wellhead. God knows how much was dispersed and what happened to it, but it's whatever's left is swirling around in a vortex in that deep water, waiting for the next hurricane to lift it up and bring more of those black logs or whatever the hell you want to call it up on our beaches. So that's what concerns me most. It's not the short term, it's what's going to happen over the next few years, and what's going to happen to the generations of fish and birds and marine mammals that we've lost in this situation. The Gulf is already suffering. It's already a beleaguered body of water, overfished, overpolluted. What happened on April 20th accelerated the death of the Gulf 50 years.
Like, is it solid? Is it soft, or what?
It's firming itself up. It feels kind of like a real hard Play-Doh.
Wow. Can you step on it? Holy jeez. Wow, that's terrible.
I'm sure there's tons and millions of pieces like that out there just waiting to wash itself up.
Wow.
Those are tar logs. Yeah, from the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, I'm really sorry about the mess that I'm leaving out here. I'm really trying to get you guys to be sorry about the mess that you left in the Gulf of Mexico. These are tar logs, sir, from the Gulf of Mexico. If you think this is a mess, imagine one of these tar logs every few feet along the beach with children playing in the water. I think that's a bigger mess, wouldn't you? Some tar logs from the Gulf of Mexico. You know what's an even bigger mess than this? The dead marine life that washes ashore. Dead turtles, dolphins. I wouldn't be too proud to wear those BP pins.
You think if you lived along those waters, sir, and your children were playing in the water with these washing ashore, you'd be concerned? Would you?
I'm not making any comment, sir. I'm not making any comment whatsoever.
Just trying to let you know my perspective.
I understand what you do, but that's what I can say.
This kind of thing can't be ignored.
Of course not.
Lesions in the shrimp. Dolphins washing ashore with no eyes.
Dolphins, little baby dolphins with no eyes, washed up on the beach. I could just picked up and carried away in my arms, you know. And it takes a toll on you watching, you know, something you love so much being destroyed to death, washing up on your beach. Little puffer fish from the deep water up here on our beaches, eels, turtles, dolphins, fish, birds, you name it. Everything dead.
And here's the photos, turtles. And this is the photos BP puts online, telling people they should go out and fish in these waters with their children. They say these tar balls are these dime-shaped objects. They're calling these coin-shaped objects made of sand, mostly sand. It's definitely not mostly sand. This is what they tell the public, that it's safe. Some tar balls, ladies, from the Gulf of Mexico. No, thank you is right. What are tar balls? Typical tar balls are pieces of oil that mix with water, sand, and sediment to form small, coin-sized objects. There we have some. Deepwater Horizon tar balls contain mostly sand. 87 to 96% sand. By the way, a little piece of that oil will burn about that high. One of those chunks it burned for an hour and 15 minutes. I don't know much sand that burns. And we are about to burn
Have our precautions.
a tar log. Charles?
Yeah.
Make sure you're got your mask on right.
Ready?
We got the torch. Uno momento.
Yeah. Ew.
Oh my goodness.
Can you see it boiling?
Yep.
Awesome.
Oh, it's burning now, Charles. She's burning.
Burning.
I told you, with enough heat, it'll go.
I'd have to say that's some sort of oil, huh?
Yeah, it's not. I don't think that comes out of the beach naturally. Look, it's giving us the fuck you. Flashing the bird at us.
It is. You're not getting in that stuff, huh?
Try not to breathe.
Don't breathe it. Unbelievable. Fine, good.
Wow. That is the worst smell I've ever smelled.
It's still going. We got it started this time. It ain't stopping. Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah, let's get a shot of that smoke. Hold on.
Shows no signs of stopping. Steadily burning. Well, the video will tell us how long it's burned, huh?
I cannot. There's still a lot left.
Yeah. There's probably half an inch or more in there.
Can we smother it?
Yeah, with a board.
Or should we let it burn?
You're not going to put it out with water. I was hoping Alan would pull up and see it. Kind of great for the documentary. At least we'll know how long that one little piece burned.
Right. We'll let her go then. It's starting to hurt my throat.
Get out, man. Go over here.
Ugh.
Or go inside.
Look at that smoke. That was only a half a log, too.
It was a little chunk. Yeah. That's what's making everybody sick. It's still going, man.
It's still burning.
Still going.
Oh my goodness.
Don't breathe it, dude. I cannot believe this. It's unbelievable.
How much does it look like is left?
It's almost done. There's no liquid really left. Now it's just burning off what's left.
38 minutes so far.
Unbelievable. I'm so glad we didn't burn that whole log. Man.
Yep.
It's
I never thought for a second that it would burn at this length.
I never thought it would burn.
I knew it would burn.
I never would have believed it.
Oil burns.
Yeah, but it's been out there over a year.
Yeah.
Under the water. And all the bullshit they feed us about it's non-volatile, it's harmless, it's non-toxic. If it burns, it's volatile organic compounds.
Well, this is why it's worth money.
That's worth money right there. A slight little bit is leaking out of the side, but not much.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just a little. What time we at now?
44 minutes.
44 minutes? I don't think a little piece of real fire log would have burned that damn long.
Never.
It would have, woof.
60 minutes.
What?
Hi, baby. Hi.
There's some more in there.
No, man. No more. No more.
That's the thing, man. Once you start it, you can't, there's no stopping.
Oh, it smells really bad up here.
Yeah.
I didn't smell it down there.
Yeah. The grass wasn't so dry, I could flip it over. Whoa, man.
Grease fire.
Wow, dude.
Put a little drop of water.
Yeah, a little water.
And see you. Okay, can you repeat that? At the present time, there's no one able to come to you. Well, I'm going to be staying here. I'm not going anywhere. If you want to advise them of that. It took them a long time to tell me no one's here. Tar log surf from the Gulf of Mexico? Would you like to see a tar log surf from the Gulf of Mexico?
Thank you.
These are fresh, just a couple weeks old. Come on, sir, give me a minute. Seen the tar logs? This washes up on the beach every day. These were picked up off the shores of the beach just last month.
I've been missing you. All the things we used to do, oh buddy. Your buddy's missing you. Laughing and playing.
Little children play in the sand and the water with these. BP tar log, sir? No. This is what BP posts all over Facebook. They say that these are made of sand and that they're coin-shaped, the size of coins. They put photos like this on Facebook to tell people that it's okay to bring their children and fish in the water. But these are the photos the people take. Shrimp with lesions. Turtles washing up on shore every day. Dolphins. Dolphins with no eyes. Washing up on shore again. Largest dolphin mortality event ever recorded since the BP oil spill. And they want to tell everyone that everything's fine. They won't even talk to me 3 days in a row now. Come on, miss, come and look at the BP tar logs. Want to see some BP tar logs, miss? No, thank you? Neither do the people on the Gulf of Mexico. The thing that upsets me the most, sir, is children play on the beach.
Oh,
You got kids?
of course.
Would you let your children play with that? Oil, it's oil and toxic dispersant. It's poisonous. It's in their blood. They get blood tests and it's in their blood.
Well, government of the country should do something.
You'd think someone would. If they won't even admit it, if they won't even admit that they're there, what, you know, what do you do? I brought these all the way from Mississippi. I'm from Canada. You want to see some tar logs from the Gulf of Mexico?
Oh, excellent.
Is it excellent? I think it's terrible. See, people, they don't care. Excellent. God. Now that you know that these are from the beach, would you ever let your children on that beach? Would you? No one would, but they do. Because they believe BP's lies. Would you like to take a look at some tar logs, sir, from the Gulf of Mexico? You want to take a look at the tar logs, sir, from the Gulf of Mexico? Neither do the people on the Gulf. Some tar logs from the Gulf of Mexico if you girls want to see. Sir, would you like to see some tar logs from the Gulf of Mexico? Is it okay? Would like to take a look at some tar logs from the Gulf of Mexico?
A bit busy, mate. Sorry. Thank you.
Bit busy.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I bet if your children played on the beach with those tar logs, you wouldn't be so busy, would you?
Well, normally I would, but I've got in an interview in 2 minutes, so I've got to put myself first today. So sorry, mate.
Yeah, you seem really genuine. You know, that's the exact word I was just thinking. Wow. Would you care to see some fresh tar logs from the Gulf of Mexico?
No, thank you.
No? Who else's oil do you think it would be? Would you like to see some fresh tar logs from the Gulf of Mexico, miss? Fresh tar logs, sir, off Mississippi beaches just last month. Children play on the sand and they're about every 5 feet. It's toxic. They get blood tests and it's in their blood. Little children, everybody.
all day long. But now I don't, because you're gone, oh my buddy. Your buddy's missing. On the first day.
Speaking of your dogs, you
Two of my dogs have died. The first dog that died was Bibi, and she died very suddenly. But my dog Blue started having seizures in November, and then we lost Blue on May 12th. And she had seizure after seizure, and in her last probably 20 minutes, she had over 10 seizures in a row. Just let out her last two breaths, and I lost my best friend.
you've been having seizures as well.
Yeah, I started having seizures in February of 2011, and I've been having them ever since.
What do you think of that? No comment. If it was your children, I bet you'd comment. But you got to earn a paycheck, right? So we'll let those Americans suffer. Fresh tar logs from the Gulf of Mexico, sir. It's no joke. I'm not having fun doing this. Some fresh BP tar logs from the Gulf of Mexico. It's not funny. Sir, you care to have a word about these BP tar logs? Fresh? What's that? That's fresh oil off the beach. No, it's fresh oil off the beach.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, from the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, where?
I brought it here from, because it's still washing up on shore and these guys don't want to tell the truth.
Oh, right. So you're making people around there?
Yes.
Put it in the letterbox, mate.
Hey, miss, you want to see some tar logs fresh off the Gulf? It's fresh oil off the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay, fair enough.
Sir, would you give me a minute to talk about these fresh tar logs?
Oh, sorry.
I didn't think so. Some fresh tar logs there from the Gulf of Mexico, sir. Care to talk about them? No? You guys just want to keep lying about it? Little children play in those, eh? Don't step in the fresh tar logs from the Gulf of Mexico. Any of you gentlemen care to talk about these fresh tar logs from the Gulf? No? You don't care? You just want to keep lying about it? It's fresh tar logs from the Gulf of Mexico. It's oil from the Gulf of Mexico, man, fresh. You don't care about that, do you?
I'll shake up.
The tar balls.
Time is 10 to 1.
No, I said those are tar balls. Sir, when I arrive back, I'm not just going to be sitting here. I'm gonna put myself in front of the door, and you guys are going to have to get rid of me or do whatever is necessary. I didn't come here just to sit still and do nothing. I'm going to have someone's going to either take one of these tar. I just want them to take one. I just want them to take one and give me some kind of statement, proof that it's not theirs or something, some acknowledgement. All I want is some acknowledgement. Otherwise, I will be barricading myself in front of that door when I return. So please tell them that, sir. I don't want to leave in a police car. Okay? Can you pass that information? Any news?
Yeah, roger that.
Okay.
Of St James's. What we're going to do is we're going to contact someone to come and see you.
Okay.
Okay? If you just be patient.
Yes, sir.
Okay, for now?
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
It's
It says that tar balls are 87 to 96% sand. Would you say that's an accurate?
I'm no expert in anything
Well, you
like
can
this.
tell by looking at it.
Well, first you have to be able to type and know what type of crude it is. So until something like that's analyzed, you don't know if it's MC252 or not.
So you're saying that it might not even be your oil?
You would need to test it to know, wouldn't you?
Okay, yeah, of course you
Big
would.
chunks of this caramel-colored matter floating in the water, anywhere from the size of a basketball to the size of your fist, and it looked like land. It looked like mines floating in the water, drifting in the clear green water at Ship Island. I was shocked when I saw it for the first time because I've been riding the boat since I was a little boy and visiting the islands and had never experienced oil on those islands.
These have been tested. This is why I brought them, because I'm hoping that you'll take them off my hands, that you'll test them.
Absolutely.
You know, why would anyone believe that? It just doesn't make sense that, you know, these things start appearing within the 2 years since the oil spill. It's going to make sense that they're probably from the oil spill.
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
So the other thing is, you're telling people that they're coin-shaped, coin-sized objects. This is 1/3 of the typical tar log.
Yeah.
They're all about segments about that long.
Yeah.
Each one of the ones that I have. I carried these from Mississippi in my bag in the wheelchair, so they all broke to pieces. Nothing like the size of coins. This is a photo you guys just posted, saying that, you know, this basically says that families should be coming and fishing in the Gulf again. Yeah. These are photos from April 20th, of shrimp that are pulled out of the supermarket in Felicians. These wash up on the shore constantly, every other day probably. This is a dolphin. 757 dolphins have washed ashore since the oil spill. The largest die-off ever. This one has no eyes. So it just doesn't make sense that we'd be posting this kind of information, saying everything's okay when it's really not.
We're not saying everything's okay.
So there's still work to do, but we are doing that work.
And it doesn't make sense that you'd want to really eat the fish.
Well, I mean, the thing you got to think about, first of all, is, you know, Gulf seafood is the most tested in the world. You know, don't take BP's word for it. Take the word of the Food and Drug Administration. U.S. government's NOAA has tested the seafood, and they tell us that it's plentiful and safe to eat. And you know, I think the government's findings speak for themselves.
I've been missing you. All the things we used to do, oh my buddy. Your buddy's missing you. Laughing and playing all day long. But now I don't. Because you're gone, oh my buddy. Your buddy's missing you. On the first day I met you, that day I named you blue. Must have known how you would break my heart, and I'd be missing you. I've been hoping for so long that I'd wake up and this nightmare would be gone. Oh my buddy, your buddy's missing you. On the first day that I met you, that day I named you blue. Must have known how you would break my heart, and I'd be missing you. For 10 years now, you're my best friend. But the last year I've been missing, oh my buddy.
I don't want nothing that swam through that in my body. The seafood's safe, and they're pushing it on our soldiers and all the commissaries on the Air Force and Navy bases and everything around the country and across the world. Pushing our seafood, saying it's safe, but once you eat it and you get sick, you'll never be able to prove it made you sick. You won't have nobody to pay for your medical bills, and you know, so I would not eat it. It's not safe. You're being lied to when you say it's safe. You say it's safe.
Regarding the tar balls, unless those get typed, we'll never know where they came from. I hope you, when you found them, you've taken the time to call the Coast Guard or the National Response Center to report them so they can collect samples and analyze them, because we would appreciate any findings of tar balls. Respond to any report of a tar ball.
These photos are the photos that people take. I'm Facebook friends with hundreds and hundreds of people who post these photos every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would I believe anything else but this?
No, I appreciate your concern. I appreciate your passion, and we are continuing to work on the response.
What if they are yours? You know.
We need to know exactly where they came from. Otherwise, we can't react.
What I'm asking is, if they are yours and you know where they came from, can we have a new one of these infographics put up with the truth?
Well, we are telling
the truth. Is that possible?
Well, we are telling the truth, but we need, once again, when these things are cited, you need to report them into the Coast Guard so the Coast Guard can take them and have the proper chain of custody, put them through the proper analysis,
You report
so
them,
we can
sir. I'm
determine.
friends with a bunch of people on the cleanup crew. I've interviewed so many cleanup workers, okay? That we know the truth. Sorry, sorry about that, sir.
That's okay, no problem.
Like, I'm very familiar with the truth. You guys pick the tar logs up all the time. We know. I don't know who's making your decisions or whatever, but this pisses the people off badly in Mississippi and Louisiana and all along the Gulf Coast states. They don't want to see this. They'd rather you say, we found some tar logs. We're going to get them and get them out of here. And we're helping clean up.
But we do say that. We're also trying to keep the economy going and promote tourism. So as long as the beaches are clean, the seafood's been tested, we do try and promote tourism, support business, support individuals.
There's been a lot of money poured into promoting the Gulf Coast as clean and unaffected by the oil spill. A little bit disingenuous when you see these reports about the oil being clean.
As I recall, he told me he had a 30,000 gallon tank of methanol. Well, methanol is wood alcohol. 10 cc's blinds you, 30 cc's can kill you. Okay? Now, what happened with this was that during the spill, and by the way, I've got a brochure I can show you from BP that shows that Louisiana light crude, which is oil that came up from the ground, is hazardous, and their own brochure says can be fatal if inhaled, can cause cancer. Okay, so at the site, we have this oil gushing from the bottom. They are spraying into an open system millions, Paul says, millions of gallons of methanol, millions of gallons of ethylene glycol, 1 million gallon of Corexit I think we've used altogether, but they're spraying the Corexit directly in the oil stream as it's coming up. And you've got Louisiana light crude. So ask what caused the problems over here? Was it methanol, ethylene glycol, Corexit, Louisiana light crude, or what they've got at the top, the products of the combustion of all of these things put together? So what caused these illnesses? Some or all of the above. So it's something new, and but it's something that's real. It's toxic exposures. These people both had toxic exposures. That's only common denominator. It has to come back to the fact that there's just toxic components to it. The Corexit would be the one thing that was the common denominator. It would be the only thing that could be the common denominator with all those sites. It would be the Corexit. This stuff is hanging around, is going to play hell with our fisheries and so forth for the foreseeable future. And we don't know how long the foreseeable future is. But it's sure to hell making people sick. Well, it has to be more than just the, it's a lot more than just the people that worked offshore right at the site. The Corexit, ethylene glycol, methanol were site-specific, to the best of my knowledge, entities. There's no reason for them to use those elsewhere. So the guys at the sites, but the guys at the site have largely the same symptoms as the guys that weren't at the site. This guy had no direct exposure to the oil except going fishing a couple of times, okay, and sick as a dog, as did Charles. They were not VU workers or anything else, and yet they're sick as a dick. The first place we're going to start off is at the site, okay? And at the site they had Louisiana light crude that was coming out from the bottom. You had, as I exposed to you, methanol, ethylene glycol, Corexit. So that's one set of things. Then you had the people that did not work the site but were in the VU program, the VOO program, and that's the Vessels of Opportunity program, okay? So they rented all of these boats on the coastal area, and they paid people to go in and round up the oil. So that's another layer. Then we had the wives that washed the husband's clothes, okay? And some of them got sick from it. And then we have people that were working on the coast and ate some of the seafood that was exposed to it, that got sick.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a stack.
But we're not saying that it's finished.
I have a stack of blood tests of people having elevated levels of ethylbenzene, all kinds of these chemicals. It's from this. You know, they didn't have it before.
My blood's been tested and are rated very high on the DOC, so that's like the proof that I've been exposed to this oil. You know?
there's a lot of people that have had these tests done around here.
Yes, and in the beginning I was one of the worst ones, but now there's people, some of the workers are testing so much worse than benzene.
Ethylbenzene.
And benzene.
These kind of chemicals are
stuff that they was exposed to more than I was, because I was 6 miles away from it. They were sitting on top of it.
And your son and his girlfriend are one of the cleanup crew still today in June 2012.
They are, and they're also having health problems. But
he was working the VOO program, and he's been sick as a dog from the VOO program. And he had a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. They came in at a later date. We drew blood on them, and the children had more. One of his children had more volatile compounds than he did. And they were told that Grand Isle was fine. They could go swimming on the beach, not a problem. And they got sick as a dog. So BP, by the way, folks listening to this, BP has not paid its bills. They not only were not taking care of people's medical issues with this, they owe this man $100-something thousand for the rent of his boat and repairs to his boat that they've refused to pay him. They've just flatly refused to pay him, and they've done this to everybody.
This is serious stuff. Like, I don't think that that's what I mean by this is what pisses people off, rushing the tourism back and saying everything's okay. Because it's really not okay. If these are on the beach, would if you have kids, would you let your kids swim with this stuff?
Well, that's why we've been here been there for years, working on the cleanup. That's why we're working with OSHA, we're working with EPA, we're working with
Did you go to
with a number of
Mississippi for your vacation this year?
I was down there during the spill.
I know, but would you bring your kids down there for vacation?
Sure.
Because that's what BP's saying on Facebook. That's what really hurts people. That's what's upsetting.
I think all the people that depend on the Gulf Coast for their livelihood, both tourism and fishing, I think they would want people to come down. And that's what we're helping them to do, to show that the Gulf has recovered. There's still work to be done, but we haven't left.
But we need that third-party verification from getting samples tested properly by the government agency.
Just dishonesty and a total disregard for humanity. I mean, these people are just horrible people. It's criminal. I mean, what they've done is criminal. It's going to happen again, as long as we've got the oil and gas industry doing what they do. It's going to happen again. But at least we'll know how to treat it, and they won't have to go through all the turmoil that they've gone through with this.
These guys are, BP's claiming that they're coming back, but we've noticed all of a sudden, now they're saying, well, West Ship Island is pretty much clean. We're only going to send out small teams out there just to monitor the island and maintain it as needed. So you can see already that BP is starting to slowly move out of the picture. We're trying to, when we find oil, we try to let the Park Service know about it. They're looking for it too, and BP claims they have people looking for it, but we're on them. We're finding it because we're out there every day, and we have visitors that come to us and say, hey, we found oil, so we can work with the Park Service to make sure that, number one, that the place gets cleaned up, because we think this is not going to be a short-term cleanup. We feel like this is going to be at least 10 to 20 year process. You probably noticed the beach chair and umbrella area. There's 100 beach chairs and sets provided to the public there. Those areas were cleaned very, very carefully because the image, they wanted to make sure that the public visiting Ship Island, and this was on orders from the National Park Service, were exceptionally clean. So those areas look good. You're probably not going to see a tar ball or any effects of oil. But if you walk down a couple of 100 yards to the east, you are going to start seeing signs of aged Deepwater Horizon oil and dispersed oil. You'll find it. Some of that oil is under the sand in layers. The islands change. They're very dynamic. Every time you have a storm, you have a whole another layer of beach or sand that covers another layer of sand. So you're constantly having that change in weather, storms, cover or uncover oil. So it's every day is a new adventure out there. You never know what you're going to find when you walk there.
A couple football fields away from the beach. Do you think BP cleaned the beach?
No, I think they buried it.
So if we were to go down to the beach right now, what do you see happening?
You'll see a 30-foot mountain of sand that runs approximately a mile.
That wasn't there before.
No, it's never there before. No. And it's going to be a hazard if the hurricane comes this way. People are, look how the cars go behind the sand.
I remember the beach just recently. It was a beautiful beach. It doesn't really make much sense to have that mountain of sand all along the beach.
Well, there's so much death on that beach that has washed ashore, and the oil. I mean, you just go down there and low tide, you can see it. It's in there. Everything's got a rainbow sheen to it. All the puddles full of rainbow sheen, and it's definitely still there. I mean, this is what we got out of it yesterday.
So it's kind of like they're.
Does that look clean to you?
No, it doesn't look clean to me. So it's kind of as though they're creating the carpet to put over top of the mess that they already have there to sweep under.
I understand it's called beach farming, and I understand it's also illegal. And here's the funny thing about the sand situation. Before the before the BP oil spill, any sand that hit the road was removed and dumped. It was never replaced back on the beach because it was contaminated from oil from cars on the road. And now they scrape the sand up and throw it back on the beach because it's all contaminated from oil from BP, so it doesn't really matter anymore. And they scrape the road sand up and they dump it right back on the beach. And they never did that before the BP oil spill.
And the oil that's out in the Gulf itself, where do you think that all went?
I think it's on the floor of the sea. And I think it's got a long way. It's coming this way, but it's all uphill. They got to get over the Chandelier Shelf. We got such a dune of sand down there, we can't see what's washing ashore because it's all blocked.
And anywhere else where they're not putting sand, they seem to be completely replacing with all this elaborate construction.
Yeah, they replaced our whole beachfront with concrete steps that no one can walk on. And they essentially closed our beach. I've been missing you. All the things we used to do, oh my buddy. Your buddy's missing you. Laughing and playing all day long, but now I don't, because you're gone, oh my buddy. Your buddy's missing you. On the first day I met you, that day I named you. And every night there's construction going on. I mean, if they don't do it during the day, they do it all at night. Heavy machinery. They do the day construction over there, what they're calling the marina. But at night, they're working on the beach.
People
We are owned by the oil and gas.
It's difficult to actually prove that these people are sick from this well.
Well, you know what?
That's the point I want to make. It's really
Yeah,
difficult.
I know, but you know what? Screw the lawyers, okay? Because what the problem that I'm gonna well, let me finish my comment. The problem that I'm gonna have is when we start treatment, the lawyers aren't gonna want their patients to get better. Think about it. The lawyers are gonna be my biggest enemies because they're not gonna want their clients with my patients to get better, because they lose their cases if they get better.
And the doctors don't do
So
nothing.
we screwed. Okay, it's going to be a difficult thing. If you treat them for a toxic exposure and they get better, that meant that they had a problem to start with. Okay, of course, almost all of it is subjective and none of it is objective, and so that's where our problem comes in. But you know, when you add the layer of provability and you add the layer of legal aspects of it, then you just create problems that we will never be able to solve over here. And the likelihood, you know, my dream is that we're going to accomplish something with this. The likelihood is we're not going to accomplish jack shit, because reality is saying people have tried this before and they weren't successful. It doesn't mean we shouldn't try, and I'm not going to stay with it. But you know, I've got a family to support and so forth, and I've got a 14-year-old daughter, and I can be reckless as one. I don't have that many clicks left on my clock, and I've got to be careful. Well, it turns out that they lied, okay? And the oil and gas industry lied. Can you believe that? What a stretch.
And they're making it difficult for you to do this.
Yep. It's a controversial area, an area nobody wants to take on the oil and gas industry and confront them and so forth. So they don't want to find themselves in the position I find myself right now as a lone wolf sitting out there and having to struggle with things, worried about whether or not I'm going to be able to keep my license, worrying whether or not I'm going to be, because of my use of unconventional medicine so far, whether or not they're going to pull me in and try to make a fool out of me.
Why are you risking everything?
Well, it's what I do. It's what I am. You know, he says towards the end of the introduction of the Declaration of Independence, prudence indeed would dictate that governments long established should not be changed for lighter transient cause. And accordingly, all experience has shown that mankind are disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by correcting the forms to which they become accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them to absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and provide new guards for their safety and security. Okay? So Jefferson said, people are inclined to put up with stuff, even though it's harmful to them, to a point. But after that point, it is not only their right to do it, it's their duty to do it. And so that was the justification for all of this. All the rest of it was rhetoric, and this was the meat of what he was trying to say. So we had a God-given right and a duty to do this. We owed it to ourselves.
Well, I know that everything we hear is a lie, and I know we can't trust anybody. I know any TV station that shows a BP commercial is telling a lie. So, you know, news used to be about credibility. How can you have a news show about BP and then show their commercials and the same thing? I mean, that's, you know, you don't bite the hand that feeds you.
These guys have managed to hide this. It's amazing, absolutely amazing, that the press, the written press and the television press, has not picked up on this. You guys are aware of the fact that early on we had the Huffington Post and Al Jazeera were the only people that covered this, period. In the United States, that was it. We had all the other countries that covered it fairly extensively, but that was the only guys that did it.
It's a little bit different than what we've been talking about, but firstly, do you think the oil is worth all this? And secondly, if it isn't worth it, what do you think people should do?
Well, I tell you, I was talking to someone the other day, and I told him I'd rather go through 2 Katrinas than Katrina and BP. BP to me was worse than Katrina. So is the oil worth it? You know, I don't think that anything is worth this. You know, our whole Gulf has been compromised for tens of years. Who knows how long? It's not worth it. There's thousands of people going to be sick from this. It's not worth it.
So what do we do?
Well, try to conserve, compromise, look for alternative ways. Go back to horse and buggies. You know, life was a lot simpler then.
Okay, John.
At one point, we'll be forced to go back to horse and buggies, so why not do it before we need to? First thing I'm thinking is my backyard, my playground is fixing to be changed like never before. And I went down every day just seeing what was coming, seeing what was happening. And I started taking my camera with me. I started taking pictures, documenting every day as it was coming, just showing the changes. And I would upload my pictures because I couldn't really find a good outlet, so I started a Facebook account. I started putting all my photos on Facebook, and there I found other people just like me here on the coast, from here to Florida, doing the same thing, walking their little stretch of beach, taking pictures, all of us comparing notes, and all of us not liking what we're seeing.
And so what are some of the things that you've been seeing washing up?
Well, the things we saw wash up out here, besides the oil, besides the core exit foam, besides tar chunks and tar logs and tar balls, has been every manner of creature in that ocean.
So as you're posting, you know, you're going out and you're posting these photos, and you're calling things as they are, and posting
Right.
it on Facebook. What kind of obstacles are you facing on Facebook with regard to that?
Well, not only are we facing problems with Facebook itself, pictures getting deleted, comments getting deleted. Sometimes we wonder if it's selective censorship. We have problems with what we call the BP trolls. They got their own little page they call BP America. And in that page, if you watch it, it doesn't take a genius to sit back and watch what's going on. There's a few people in there, like a Ken Smith, a Jan Long, and a Wayne Brandt. And every one of them will have multiple identities. Probably do have multiple personalities too, and they monitor us. They watch us. I guess you could say they stalk us, because we can block them and they'll come up with another identity and find us and watch us. We put pictures of the nasty brown foam out here, or the oil sheens on the water, and they'll come tell us that it's not oil, it's something else, and then they'll post up a page long of BS to just baffle you. And none of it's true. It's all lies, it's all propaganda. But we're made to be the crazy people. We're made to be the people that don't know what we're talking about. I've lived here 16 years. I love that ocean. I'm down there all the time. I think I know what I'm talking about. Not only do they talk about the environment, how it's been put all back to normal, but they love to talk about how nobody was made sick from this. You know, I've seen people get sick. I've had my close friends get sick. I myself, I've gotten sick. So they can't sit here and tell me that we didn't get sick from this oil.
You're not only facing adversity by these BP trolls, as you call them, but I understand you've also been had some dealings with the sheriff's office.
Yes, I have. And this was recently. I mean, this wasn't back when the spill happened. This was back in January of 2012. When they spotted me, I saw them. I turned my car around and I started going the other way. And I was a long distance away. I had my telephoto zoom on. It wasn't even a minute from me turning around that I have blue lights in my rearview mirror. And it's the Hancock County Sheriff pulling me over. They pull me over, and he takes my license. He says, I don't know what's going on, but just sit right here. He comes back, hands me my license, and a white SUV pulled in behind it. He said, hold on one more second. He went back there and talked to the people in the white SUV. He said, so what are you doing out here? And I told him, I'm just out here taking pictures. I'm documenting what's going on. Because they say all this oil's gone and it's all cleaned up, and you and I know better. And I'm doing this for my kids, your kids, my grandkids, and your grandkids, our future. That's why I'm out here doing this. He seemed like he understood, and he said, well, okay, sir, have a good day. I said, well, can I ask you one thing? Who's that in that white SUV back there? And he told me BP Security.
That's got to be scary.
Yeah.
And what do you think they were trying to do?
I think it was intimidation. I really do. I think it was an intimidation to let me know we can say anything we want to say about you, and if we make the charges stick on somebody like me that has a clean record, never done anything wrong, that was enough of an intimidation to me to make me stop what I'm doing. And to a point it did, because I stopped for a few weeks scared that, they could ruin my name. I have a good name. And that was scary, but a few weeks later I'm right back to doing what I was doing again,
Feeling bad again. Well, we've been actively seeking it out. We've been going to...
He's poisoned. This turkey's been getting my friend sick over here. So
you guys need to quit going out there, bro. You're just gonna...
Well,
we're done. We're done. We're not going to go again. I have to go one more time. I have to go twice more.
Oh, you like that stuff, man.
I'm going twice more. No, we got to go and check this Cat Island out and another spot where I've been hunting for the mats that are laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Like I've been swimming down trying to find the mats in the seagrass.
I tell you, you're gonna swim up and fall asleep for about a week. Dude.
I'm more worried about stingrays and sharks and jellyfish.
No, you're worried about the wrong stuff.
I know, but like I've been telling these guys, in the back of your mind, I'm here to investigate the situation. At first, I was 100%. I'm a skeptic through this all. So I have to play devil's advocate. I have to say that the oil's not there. If I didn't go there and hold those logs in my own hand and see them on the beach and having washed up, I wouldn't believe it. Now I'm convinced, but I still have to do what I'm here to do.
Talk to Al Walker and talk to Porter and so forth, and ask them if they would recommend that you dive into this stuff.
I would tell you better not be diving.
You need to stop that, because that's...
He knows himself what happened.
I know. I'm only going to be here for a short amount of time. So.
Yeah, then you just die a little younger. So.
Well, I know. Believe me, I don't want to. I'm doing it because no one else is doing it.
The problem is, it appears right now that it's ongoing. It ain't stopped. They're going to be affected adversely. They may lose everything they have just because they have to be in the wrong place at the wrong time and be exposed to these things. That's criminal. It's ludicrous. It's something that shouldn't happen in a civilized nation. It's happened to us.
Ready?
Yep.
I've been missing you. All the things we used to do, oh my buddy. Your buddy's missing you. Laughing and playing all day long. But now I don't, because you're gone, oh my buddy. Your first day that I met